What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 14 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Aranessa Saltspite campaign. So as we saw last time, we once again have defended Gualcazar from attack, which makes it to have turned out to be a relatively useful settlement, and didn't really care about it originally, but now that it's fended off a couple of armies, it's certainly come into its own. Charlie Sharp has moved out of it, and we'll probably get a few more zombos in there and then take Salsona, while we work on the Rapturous Excess here from two directions, though I'm sure they'll enjoy it as Alanis the Stasher, and we'll move in from this side and hopefully hit Largos and Aguilata. In the meantime, Harry Halfmast will push up towards Sitkus and Almagora, though he will be getting a retrofit soon, as he will be leading the Ghost Army rather than the Ogre Army. Speaking of retrofits, more importantly than all that, Aranessa's retrofit has finally been completed, and her army, while not completely in its final form, is certainly getting there. And we got all the three units of the rotting Promethean gunnery mobs, definitely my favorite unit to use in the roster, and well, now we're just missing Depth Guard and Necrophax for that. But anyway, not for Aranessa's army. She's also got the two Sartosan Carronades and the more elite Sartosa Pirate Mercenaries as well. And it will be fun to use them, and we will be doing so this turn. We don't technically have to attack Baricar, but they're right here in our way, and why not attack them, take this territory for ourselves, and probably make the ogres happier with us. And before we get going with regards to the threshold and the hour episodes, I'm going to lower the threshold slightly. Makes sense as the campaigns get older. In fact, I think in the Bretonia campaign, I lowered it at episode 10, I want to say. But anyway, let's say 250 likes and 40 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. Just like this one. Anyway, Nessie, we're going to have you attack last because there's a bunch of stuff we have to do this turn. Harry, we can easily have you attack right here. And, ooh, should we use... Nah, I was about to say we should move Peggy into Leech, but in fact, she wouldn't be able to because the two explodey dudes would explode, and not in a good way, so, yeah. Occupy the place. Sitkus is returned to us. Not that we really care about it. Do we want to repair these? You know what, I think I'm going to wait right now, as it takes 2,000 gold to repair Agilas, and that's a little bit much. I would rather move Peggy all the way up here, and oh, you are going to suffer attrition if you do. I don't like that. Alright, fine. Use regular movement then. And in-camp movement, I should say. We're going to transfer these armies to Charlie Sharp, or transfer these units to Charlie Sharp. Frankly, we won't need the scurvy dogs in here. Sorry, scurvy dogs, you're just a liability in terms of auto-resolve. And then... we'll probably attack Salsona in a second as well. Alright. Gang Presser Sea Legs, you, sir, are going all the way, I believe, to Remas. There's nothing to build at Porto Maggiore or Lucchini that I'm aware of, at least not in the ports that you can land at. Is there anything at Rafrafa? No, not really. Alright, well, we can visit Remas and anything that's on the way, and make things to build there cheaper, like this pirate port, for example. Pirate fort, not pirate port, though we have the latter as well. Alana, you're up next, and you're heading out to... there was an island here. Oh, it's right here. I thought this was a settlement. And, oh, it's a sea corpse. I had thought that that was in Mysterious Island. Sea Corpse, I don't recall. Is this one of the ones we fight? No, Remnants of Battle is the one that we fight. Sea Corpse, I think, is just loot? Or is it random? No, it is fight, damn it. I can only ever remember that it's Mysterious Island that you don't need to fight, but oh well. 1,200 gold, we'll take it.
What is your demand?
We'll take it. And Horde Growth +5, ranked up on the sea. Hello. I should... wow, I did not know that that was a thing. I should have given this to Aranessa ages ago. Or rather, I should have gotten one of these for Aranessa ages ago. Anyway, free decent amount of cash, putting us back up to 31k, which is needed, and because we're about to be building a ton of new troops and armies. Starting with the Ghostly Army. You obviously will not need the Siren, then we'll give it to... you know what? I was about to say give it to Aranessa, but Aranessa's doing pretty good. Trusty Montfort, you're the new guy. Maybe give it to you. get you up and running a little bit faster. Alright, and in fact, can you... No, you cannot. Alright. I was gonna say, can you build a thing, but you cannot build a thing alas, so go to Sartosa and we'll start you on your recruitment journey in a second. Also... I should level you up, shouldn't I? Oh, that's not you that needs the level, it's Hans Deep Blue. Alright, fine, fine, fine. That had me confused for a second. Alright, Trusty Montford will move you last then. Treasure Coven. Coven? Every time. You're moving up here. There was a treasure somewhere around in this area, so that's where you're headed. Ooh! If you go by Altdorf, you can set up a pirate cove there, actually. Alright, actually, speaking of, how many capacities do we have for agents right now? Specifically, Vampire Fleet Captains are at 4 out of 7. We need to build 2 for the Ghostly Army, so we can build another one here. Plus 25% experience. Lord Keeper gives us a little bit of research rate, putting us up to 100% if we like it. But what we really want is to be able to establish pirate coves cheaper. So what we want is Devious. That's what we want. And Devious it is. Oh, 2.4k. Damn. All right. Emily Oxenfurt, you will be moving up here. And wait. Gotta figure out who to send where. So, well, I guess you can also go up the river and make a few pirate coves there. I think there's a cooldown, though. And I don't remember how long it is. Well, either way. Now, I take it because we don't have the capacity, we probably shouldn't get another one of these up and running, though I am tempted to send one out and dig some more. Although I suppose we don't have another one that's devious, so that's another problem with this. Anyway, you guys, okay, you will also get a name. Indiana Bones. Like so. You guys are giving me a lot of names for the treasure hunter slash pirate cove establishers, so we're gonna get those in there as well. Too bad they can't steal tech as well. Wouldn't that just be fantastic? You can establish pirate cove. This is a 100% chance of success. Is there anything that you can have that's actually faction-wide? Is there any kind of buffs that you give us that would make it worth it, other than Pirate Cove establishment? But I don't think there is. Yeah, no, you have nothing faction-wide, which means we could just go Specialist and then probably Wound and Assault units. Those seem like the more useful ones. Alright, away you go. And Nessie, I just wanted to do that before I moved you. Alright. Charlie Sharp. And building. Well, I guess we could build the buildings after we strike the enemy. So, Charlie, I'd like you to first go right here, wherein you can get a few more zombos for your work on Solsona. And the zombie... Ooh, we can build more pirate. We can build more pirate. Pirate. It's like pirate, but boarding crew together. Pirate. Pirate boarding crew, you... Although I'm probably going to use this army for raiding, whereas this army is the actual one that's going to be fighting, and we'll probably give it a full army, because you're a raider, eh? I mean, I suppose we could just get some cheap zombies for now, and then replace them with better stuff as we go. We don't have another one of these deck dropper bombs, do we? No, we don't. Alas, we do not. Alright, let's put a zombie pirate pirate gunnery mob with hand cannons in here just for fun. A couple of stupidly expensive gunnery mobs with handguns, and a couple more cheap gunnery mobs. 17? Use a little bit more. You want a carronade? Take a carronade. It's not like that they're expensive, or at least they're not that expensive. Good enough by the looks of it. Let's pop you into Parley Stance. Let's get you Root Marcher. No, I lied. Let's get you Invocation of Nehek, Drown Dead, and Curse of Undeath. How's your mana? Oh, your mana's actually pretty good, meaning you can use either one of the spells number of times. And of the two spells, Drown Dead is... Oh, they're both equally important. Damn you. Damn you, game, for making me think slightly. Drown Dead at least increases the number of times you can use the ability to summon more dead. Anyway, okay, it's good enough. Away you go. Take Solsona. Valiant defeat, really? Against this? I mean, I guess there's a couple of spawn in there. Alright, we're gonna manually fight this super quick. I will do the battle against Baricar against the Dwarfs with Aranessa's reinforced army as a cinematic, mostly because, well, I want to see those units fight, but this is also the auto-resolve being a jerk. Like, what are you talking about? How, in what way, in what world is this a valiant defeat for us? Am I missing something, game? Well, I've missed things in the past. Who knows? I could miss things in the future. And start deployment, please. I know this map. It will give us a fairly decent position to start at right here. Cannon, hopefully you can bring down those Hellstriders. I think they were Hellstriders. Like so. You guys just below them as the enemy moves up. Turn off your skirmish mode. We'll put you guys like so. Right below them, and then you guys will be below... Well, actually, you can just be below them all the way. There we go. Because they could just fire over your heads, and I guess the same thing goes for the bombers, but we'll have to be real careful. In fact, turn off your fire at will, because it makes me nervous. Alright, Lord up here to summon things in front of the enemy, and then we'll go, you guys to sacrifice and get replaced by those bats in that other army. And you guys, since the enemy has nothing in the way of range units, you're good. Start battle, go for the Hellstriders, you guys max out your speed, and we have Demon Nuts on the field. The Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh, Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh, Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh, no. Okay, I guess they're dropping bombs on the Marauders then. Alright. Let's see how devoted they are after taking a few bombs to the top of the skull, I guess. As opposed to the back of the head. And get one more volley in there and then switch targets, just to soften them up as we go. Are they not moving towards us? We have all our artillery firing on them. Curious. And mortars, no. Mortars, fire at the enemy infantry, not the cav. What the heck are you doing? Mortars. Alright. And drop a few more bombs in there. And see some of those Hellstriders melting my... Oh, you're gonna miss some of those bombs and smash into those trees, ain't you? Alright. I just said the word smash and the entire Slaaneshi's army's ears perked up. Well, those that have ears. Alright, anyway, let's drop a few more. Ooh, they sort of dodged that volley. Not bad, not bad. Like they are dodging mortar shells, presumably. Alright, I'm gonna speed this back up, because I thought that they would honestly be moving forward to us by now. Also probably move you guys away so you don't get ripped apart by the mortars. And, oh, it feels weird at this speed. There we go, get a few more volleys in there, and normal speed now, and here come the Hellstriders. Get in their way a bit. I told you guys to not skirmish mode, didn't I? Yeah, I did. We're fine. We're fine. Don't really care about casualties or damage in this army. And you guys fire on the Devoted Marauders of Slaanesh. You can get ready with a drown dead so that they can fire. And we'll heal you up to full. Like so. Alright, enemies running. Switch the cannon to the spawn of Slaanesh. Mortars continue firing. Everything looks good to me. You guys get in the way of the enemy. And you get ready to summon again. Alright, everybody else just can keep firing and we can just watch this. I fear that you're not... No, actually you are. I was about to say they weren't going to be able to fire over our units, but I believe that they are. Alright, enemies running forward and... Oh, is the enemy lord wanting to duel you? That's actually not something we want right now. Because I'm willing to bet that the enemy lord is actually stronger than you. Our summon unit is melting away, but that's just fine. Yeah, you can fight those units. There we go. Well, the enemy lord slash cultist, I should say. Alright, and yeah, you know what? It's still gonna be a liability to use the bombs, but nah. I don't care enough about these units for it to matter. Alright, you get ready to summon another set of zombos right there. Block off those units of Spawn of Slaanesh from charging. And then, back away here, we can Invocation of the Heck, let's say you, keep you alive for just a little bit longer. Bombs away have shattered our own unit, or at the very least forced it to crumble. And a couple more speed ups, we'll see the battle over. Ooh, you guys have moved into the gun line, sorry. Spawn of Slaanesh, you're out. Alright, you're still fine. Couple more shots. And just the spawn now to shatter, alright. And handgunners, I would like you to target the spawn. And then I'd like to speed this up until the last spawn is done. There we go, speed it back up, and unbattle. Alright, yeah, obviously the Auto-Resolve was being a complete maniac here. I wonder why the Auto-Resolve really dislikes... Yeah, it seems like the Vampire Coast is one of the factions that the Auto-Resolve just straight up really dislikes. Because, I don't know, up through mid-game, a lot of our armies would be composed of things like this. And just tons and tons of zombie units. But an unupgraded garrison army really wouldn't be able to defeat them, so yeah, heck you talking about. Alright, and a little bit more cash, a little bit in the way of damage, take off that infamy stance, or whatever that stance is called, parlay stance, and you, Harold, do the same. Alright, and you're fine, okay. I was gonna say, slight retrofit perhaps, but no, we're okay. Trusty Montfort, will we have enough to recruit stuff this turn, is the question. You know what, here's what we'll do. We'll start doing a little bit of building. Nothing crazy, but I do want to start maxing out all the secret tunnels everywhere because they give us decent amounts of cash. Trantio, you're kind of far away. We move all the way here just to reduce the cost of this upgrade by 14%, was it? Or do we just go straight to Miragliano and ignore it? I think maybe we just upgrade you right now. 6.4k. Do it. And Miragliano, okay, you we will reduce though, but not these hidden fences for the additional adjacency bonus that they will provide. Tear some more hidden fences here. Middle Tilea, more hidden fences, or at least hidden fence singular. Looks good. Appuccini Mountains, nothing to be built here. I mean, I guess we could upgrade you to tier 2. Even though it galls, because we'll have to delete your spine port. Yeah, sure. Upgrade you to tier 2 as well. Sasurio Wood. Wellity. You're actually maxed out on growth, and I've not been wanting to upgrade you, and I continue to not want to upgrade you, so that will also continue. Let's upgrade you here, Matorka. River Aboro. Not going to bother investing in you right now, because there's a decent likelihood that you'll get attacked and taken by something, and then Karak Bufdar and Karak Kafir Kamaz will probably be traded to the Skaven, as frankly we're not going to be getting these territories from Orion unless he declares war on us, and he's probably too afraid to do so. And more declaration reminds me of diplomacy. Let's go non-aggression pact with Clan Pestilence. I know that the ogres won't like it, but they have 0 settlements remaining, and thus if they die, that'll just be free money. We have additional trading available. Corsairs of Spite. You're all the way up here, right? Decent likelihood you'll die. Trade with you. Who are you? Borodin Coven. Oh, fighting Kislevites and you're completely surrounded by them. Probably won't survive. Frankly, the same goes for all of these factions. Subtle Torture is fighting the Dark Elves. I mean, I guess we could... How much money would you give us to do this trade? 1,000 gold, Not much. Lokir would probably declare war on us. On the other hand, leaving Lokir alive to dominate the seas, is that something we really want? I'm not sure. How does he feel about us right now? I mean, I guess we don't have to do the non-aggression pact immediately, or non-aggression pact, trading agreements immediately. He does not like our treaties with the Drowned, but that's about it. Not super relevant. We don't actually have to defeat Silas. Wow, she has no infamy. Oh, she's spending it on research. Yeah, makes sense. I'm just wondering whether we actually have to defeat Silas or not. For any kind of goals, I don't believe that we do. There's more buildings to build here, but nothing super critical, and I think, unless I'm mistaken, you, sir. Let's see how trusty you are. Not raised dead, but sirens. 1, 2... No, not global. Ew. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we'll get 1 Knight Terror and then a bunch of additional Morngulls and 4 heroes, plus we'll need to probably carry some units over to carry Half-Mast. Alright, fleet captains will need to be of the vampiric variety. Dark Majesty is not horrible. A leadership aura and character leadership. Morngul Hunters is determined. There's a Lore Keeper. I don't want to waste money on these guys. Oh, Dread Incarnate. I like Dread Incarnate. I think the Terror is wasted because they already have Terror, though. But the enemy leadership reduction. Can't complain too much about that. I think we'll get to you, Dark Majesty. I guess we don't have to get it this turn either, because we have to wait until you recruit anyway. Alright, we'll wait. We'll wait until you're good. Alright, well, that's it for the other types of waiting. Maddie, I believed I moved you last time, which means, Nessie, it's time to try out your fancy new toys. Parlay Stance, or We have 2 ways to try them out. Maybe it's finally time to get KRAKEN'S BANE going. That'll give us a proper test of our new stuff, won't it? Where's missions? I didn't really want to waste the bonus of it, but honestly, it's been so long that I kind of feel like doing it right now. So, let's do it right now. And let's see, let's level you up before we do get you wild-eyed, I guess. And Billy Butcher, you are going to get Carnophage to get that melee defense. And lastly, Jesse. Another point in Kraken's pool, perhaps. Everything else is more or less not stuff we care about. Vangeist's Revenge, not crazy useful in this army, but could have potential. Yeah, let's get magical reserves for now. And then we'll figure it out afterwards. Alright. Well, that looks good to me. Time to do the quest. KRAKEN'S BANE, which will give us a nice sword, if nothing else, and income from raiding for the army, though Nessa basically never raids. That's some nice stats for her. Alright. Give this a read before we fight. A band of Norscan raiders have declared war upon Manann himself in the name of their chaos gods. Oh, that's a good idea. Declare war on the god of the sea when you're a seafaring civilization. Okay. Some smart leaders they've got there. The raiding parties are under orders from their skilled chieftain, who claims that the Queen of Tides is his daughter, who he'd thought dead. He had thrown Aranessa into the ocean as a baby, believing she would attract the ire of the dark gods due to the mutation she bore. The skilled chieftain mobilized his fleet as soon as he learned that Aranessa was still alive, believing that by murdering as many sea creatures as possible, he could prove his rejection of Aranessa before the gods. The Queen of Tides, favored by Manann, will ensure both she and the sea god have their revenge. Alright. Always found it interesting that Aranessa never turned to Stromfells, who the most other pirates worship, as opposed to Manann, though I suppose some would contend that Stromfells is merely an aspect of Manann, but anyway. Teleport. I should have checked what we were facing off against. And I'm willing to bet there's reinforcements here. Alright, bunch of... Oh, we got a mammoth, or 2 mammoths and a giant. A decent amount of marauder champions. And possibly reinforcements, or possibly not, but we'll see how all of our fancy new toys fare. Away we go. What started out as a hunt to punish some Norskins for murdering Manann's creatures has now become an emotionally charged family affair. Aranessa may have been born Norscan, but her allegiance has always been to the sea. Rejected and betrayed by her own flesh and blood as a baby, she now has a chance to appease the bitterness raging eternally inside her. The skilled chieftain claiming to be her birth father has just launched a raid against Pakai Spey. Aranessa vows that no more innocent creatures of the sea shall die in her name. This ends now.
Not this Norse puppet who claims ownership simply because he spilt his seed. No, my real sire, the Sea Father. Let the forces of the false beget to crash uselessly against the cliffs, like waves against a swordfish's hull. Cutlass is out! Blood is salt! That's an order!
Alrighty, blood and salt indeed. We finally have a sort of a war cry for the faction, which I probably should have been using for the campaign, or throughout the campaign. Anyway, the arrival of our new units, the Sartosan mercenaries. Oh, I like the ones with the helmets a little bit more than without. Yeah, they look quite decently armored like this. Though at 65 armor, it's nothing crazy, but it ain't too bad either. We'll see how effective these guys are. We also now have 4 of our units of Ogre Pistols, which have a lot of enemy large entities to knock down, with 3 Mammoths and a Norscan Giant to focus as well. Plus, we have the Sartosan Carronades, who are going to hopefully do a decent number on the enemy infantry units, as well as our our crabby boys, our various units of rotting Promethean gunnery mobs, which, while they're going to obviously do a lot less damage than the ogres, especially with Aranessa's buffs, the Aranessa's buffs should also make them very, very resistant to pretty much anything, so hopefully it'll be nice. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off with the ogres as usual, moving into skirmish, and they will be focusing down the first of the enemy entities, which leads a portion of the enemy army towards us. Looks like this is a reinforcement army that wasn't really talked about. The main host is here with those 3 giant entities, and then we have this one here, and another little force with 2 packs of Norscan Ice Wolves and 2 Marauder Horsemasters looking to hit us in the flanks. We'll see how that all goes for them. Anyway, Aranessa is going to book it towards the enemy mammoth, which is rampaging. However, unfortunately for it, it will not get to us. That Spearfisher's net comes down, mammoth gets locked in its place, and with 4 units of ogre pistols firing at it, it'll be gone shortly. Deck gunners are making quick work of the first of the enemy units that they could reach, with, of course, as usual, Mr. Billy Butcher out front, just causing absolute havoc, applying poisons and generally being undamaged by anything that, well, moves or strikes or whatever. Gotta love that poison and that chilling aura. 2 more mammoths arrive. One of them charges through our summoned units of rotting Prometheans and goes for our Sartosan mercenaries. We can run and gun, however, so we're gonna back them off and hopefully get this thing destroyed or distracted. Speaking of distracted, Billy Butcher has distracted the second mammoth, or actually stopped it with its Tormentor sword. The ogre pistols have taken care of this one, and the other will be gone as well. Broken. Very, very nice. Alright, how's the battle proceeding? 2 minutes in so far. The enemy have lost its elites, or at least its monstrous elites, with the exception of the giant, which we'll be focusing with our pistols shortly. The Marauder champions have been running up, and they've been taking hits from the Sartosa Carenes this entire time. Looks like they've lost about 1/3 of their HP, which is nothing crazy, but not too bad either. Damage per gold value at 11,000 is pretty darn decent on you so far. Especially as you're firing at a single unit that isn't really blobbed up. And there we go, like those shotgun-like blasts from these guys, or grape shot, whatever. We'll see how effective they get, or how much more effective they get as the enemy closes the distance, which they're certainly working on. Going to be charging some of our ogres and our various units of marauders. But it's looking like it's going pretty well. They're certainly not really being able to break through our rotting Promethean gunnery mobs, who stop them in their tracks and then allow the Norskins to take hits from our Sartosans. Oh, and there we go. Spears versus pistol and cutlass. Don't think that's going to go so well. Enemy Lord is moving in as well, and thus Aranessa will move to counter him and hunt him down. Nice little family reunion for us. Although I don't imagine it'll be all that long of a one. Alright, Sartosa mercs keep fighting, and here come those ogres barreling in to help them out. Yeah, I don't think the enemy has much more left in him. About 85% balance of power in our favor. The flanking maneuvers have failed with our rotting Promethean gunnery mobs holding the line and certainly being able to take care of units of Marauder horses without too much trouble, both pinching away and gunning them with those hand cannons. Over here, it looks like we did take some damage on a couple of units of our Sartosan mercenaries, the Black Betty Buccaneers and the unnamed ones, as they did get hit by those Norscan Ice Wolves. The latter hit them in the back. But it's okay, the model count, or the model dropping, was relatively low, and we're still pretty okay here. Alrighty, and Aranessa has just nearly found the enemy lord. Trying to get through the rest of the enemies. The giant gets trapped by another Spearfisher's net and is below half HP as the ogres keep gunning him down, and it looks like the enemy army is on the way out. About 90, maybe even 95% balance of power. The Lord is the only thing that remains with decent HP, and Aranessa is coming in to run him down. Now get back here. Alrighty, and the ogres stop him in his tracks. You've nowhere to go now. Get off your high crab, Aranessa. And there we go. With that, the enemy army shatters. It looks like the enemy lord wanted no part of this, maybe taking a little bit of damage, but otherwise being forced to shatter by the fact that the rest of his army was absolutely destroyed. A little bit of action for our forces, but we'll have plenty more as this. Ooh, I think the giant was falling just as the battle ended. Plenty more action for these guys as we continue trying this army out. Alrighty, very nice. A little bit of a reward, 3,100 money, as well as a level. KRAKEN'S army defeated, and frankly, he was a coward who simply ran away as soon as his army broke before the wrath of Manann. Lovely. I suppose one reason that Aranessa might keep with Manann rather than Stromfels is I believe the creatures that saved her were probably Manann's creatures, and frankly, Stromfels is, even if he is an aspect of Manann, or even for those who argue, that is a lot more of an unforgiving, malicious god than Manann, who is, well, still unforgiving, sea god and all that, but a little bit less so. Anyway, let's see. Oh, 212 kills on the OG Krabby Boys. Very well done, representing all Krabby Boys and getting not as much damage, but nearly as many kills as Queen Bess. Both of the Carronades also did quite well at 18 or 19k and 23k damage, especially for a battle where the enemy armies were nice and spread out. Very nice. Very nice. And we had a little bit in the way of show for our various ogre units and our various Sartosan units, though of course we'll see how they fare later on, and a lot of damage comes in from the 2 units of gunners, and deck gunners, I mean. Almost now thinking that maybe we should keep them rather than replacing them with 2 rotting leviathans, but they're so on theme for Aranessa. Now we could heal up to full in order to fight the dwarfs, but you know what? Being a little bit damaged when we fight them might make it a little bit more interesting, so ransom the captives, take even more money. We'll need all we can get over the next few turns, and there's the KRAKEN'S Bane. Income from rating plus 25% melee attack and weapon strength increases as well, and the KRAKEN'S Bane buff is similar to the buff of the... I also got the Cursed Bullion of Bogenhof and the Regiment of Renowned Necrofax, but... what I'm thinking now... Let me just think about this. Let me think, guys, damn it. Alrighty. So, this gives us a +5 melee attack, whereas conversely the Breast Cleaver gives us a +8 melee attack. And what I'm trying to consider is this. Billy Butcher currently has the Tormentor Sword. I do like it on him, though it does give magical attacks. The Vampire Fleet Captain doesn't automatically have magical attacks, which is a little bit odd, because vampires, I think, should just automatically have magical attacks. Nonetheless, perhaps we put the Tormentor Sword on you and give Billy the buff? Although I suppose the Brass Cleaver would also work on Jessie, as she's more in the main line than Billy is, who tends to hunt heroes and entities, single entities. So yeah, Brass Cleaver to you. A lot of thinking about that. Also, while we're here, what kind of stuff we have? A couple of Wands of Jets, which we could get rid of. Powers, get rid of a couple of Wands of Jets, fuse them into another Ogre Blade. I'm not a huge fan of the Ogre Blades, but we're about to get a lot more heroes recruited, so we'll probably need to give them items. So I guess we can't turn all of these things into other stuff. And Featherfoot Torque will probably go to our flying army, though I suppose we won't have a flying hero to actually carry it. Nonetheless, I'll have to think about that one as well. And Ogre Blades are good, and Nessie, you get some levels on the rest of your units, but you're fine. Pestilence and Clan Na are at war with Baricar, so we will talk to Pestilence, we will join war against Baricar, and get some more money from them. Alright, and yeah, these guys won't like that. We're really gonna need to trade them some stuff so that they don't declare war on us. I'm a trader, away we go. do a little bit more fighting in this army. I don't think this is going to be a difficult battle, but, you know, considering the advent of all of our new toys, I want to keep trying them out, and I'd like to see how the Sartosan Carronades do against some dwarfen targets. Away we go, round 2, Aranessa. Alright, well, the order is given, and that's what Bess wanted. Here we go, the battle will begin once again against the Dwarfs with an artillery duel, although calling it a duel, perhaps, is a little bit too strong of a word, as the two enemy catapults are going to get struck pretty much in the middle of their formation by Bess's shot, and I think they're pretty much done. Maybe another shot will be necessary, but they won't get too much value out of those. Our run and gun army is also going to move forward. We can see those Sartosa Carronades firing, though you can see at the distance the sort of grape shot thing that they do doesn't work very well, simply because the shots spread out too much. As I've noted, they're going to be functioning a lot better once the enemy draws in closer and they can get more hits in. But at the very least, they can still fire at the distance that they're currently at, even if it won't be for too much damage. I'm gonna get some blasting charges thrown in by enemy miners, and I believe there was a unit of iron breakers in here as well. It should be you, yes? Yeah, some iron breakers. But that's why we got Billy Butcher waiting just over the hill together with the crabs, who are going to annoy those dwarfs as well. Anyway, I did say run and gun, so we will move forward and then back off, annoying the enemy army. I decided not to do the same with the Sartosans in this particular battle, mostly because they're much slower than the ogres are, and much less tanky, and much more liable to get wrecked by blasting charges, which the ogres obviously aren't all that afraid of. Though what the ogres are afraid of is a clutch or master rune of slowness popping their, or dropping their move speed down to a mere, I don't know what it was, because the master rune of slowness ended, but it did get this unit badly damaged by the enemy army. We're going to bail them out by summoning those rotting Prometheans and having Aranessa and Nessie and Jesse, to move in and take on the enemy runesmith and High Lord. Over on this flank, we have the rotting Promethean gunnery mobs charging in together with Billy Butcher to try to annoy those iron breakers. Not the greatest matchup in the sense that two defensive units facing off against each other are going to take a long time to damage or kill each other off. But nonetheless, it'll be an entertaining fight. Enemies are continuing to move closer and starting to move into the range of the units of Sartosans as well. Eventually, essentially, what we're going to have is the Sartosans with the ogres behind them, so that they can fire over them. But I fear the enemy army will simply not be able to get that close to us. Alrighty, here comes some more miners. These ones also have blasting charges, so we have to destroy them before they chuck them, or we have to block them off by summoning another unit of crabs. Oh, I like how Jesse moved in just as the summon went down, as it looked pretty neat, let's say. Alright, and how's that battle proceeding? About 90% in our favor at the current time. The few enemy melee units that remain are having a horrible time trying to actually get into combat, and in fact have not yet engaged a single one of our Sartosans in a fight. Alright, Queen Bess and the rest of the range units are doing their job. It looks like the Iron Breakers are pretty darn badly hurt over here, and we're going to back off our crabs, which, by and large, didn't take all that much damage. Nice. Alright, and of course our artillery have been taking care of the enemy range units in the background, though it looks like it's not really going to be needed. A few more blasting charges are going to come in, but it looks like a bit of a last hurrah as the enemy lord is routing, and as soon as this thing breaks, I think the enemy army will be done. Aranessa standing out front and facing off against some miners, and though they are armor-piercing miners, she's got way too much healing for them to deal with. And that's without, well, I mean, she's not a vampire lord, so she can't get an invocation of the heck, but clearly, nor does she really need it. Alright, and Jessie being no slouch today herself, being all the way out front here, Ogres and Sartosans continuing firing and backing them all up, but yeah, it looks like the battle is ours, and the enemy is unable to reach us. Alright, get a few more shots of those rotting Promethean gunnery mobs working on the enemy. Surrounded by these things, probably not the best place to be. Man, I really would have loved to have seen these piles of gunnery crabs facing off against that massive horde of Skaven units, but I'm sure we'll find a few massive hordes to face off against. We might also fight Clan Eshin in lieu of fighting Clan Scryer, so that we can maintain alliances with Scryer. Mostly because I just want to see if we can't fight a few more Skaven armies. Anyway, with that, the battle is ours. Very short one there, or maybe not very, but certainly a relatively short and a relatively easy one, but I wanted to fight it nonetheless just so that we got to see a little bit more of our units. Haven't had a lot of action for the grape shot cannons as yet, but I think it's not such a big deal. With Queen Bess available, these things don't really need to function as well at range, because Queen Bess just outranges and destroys everything. So yeah, when the enemy actually approaches our line, that's when hopefully the carronades will shine. Alright, not bad, not bad. 3 losses, I believe, all ogres, as that Master Rune of Slowness did kick in and hurt the Grog Belchers in particular. Looks like we got some decent value out of our range units this time around. Unfortunately, the enemy army was simply too weak to actually get to our melee line, and they simply died while taking shots to the face as they approached. But that's hardly surprising against a dwarfen army, as they are very, very slow. Gotta love that combo as well, the Chilling Aura and the Poison from Billy Butcher / Morngul Haunter, in combination with the Stagger Shot of the Crusty or the rotting Promethean gunnery mobs reduce the Ironbreaker's speed down to a mere 3, which is a pretty ridiculous reduction. They basically were standing still, and we could have popped a Kraken's Pull on top of all of that if we desired so. So there's some very nasty complete speed reduction combos and that you can pull off with the Vampire Coast, which makes sense for a range-heavy sort of faction. Anyway, we are going to... Wait, what's the damage on the Sartosan Carronades? Yeah, about 10k damage on both of them so far. They haven't performed all that much different from a regular Carronade, though I suppose there's something to be said for the fact that these are, in theory, going to perform better the closer you get to them because of the shotgun effect that they have when they fire, and we haven't really had a chance for them to shine in such a situation, nor against the faction that blobbed up a lot of infantry like the Skaven would, so hard to say. Anyway, we are going to occupy the place. And a perfect vigor and campaign movement range increase. Nice, Aranessa. And very nice indeed. You don't have a perfect vigor banner on you, do you? No, you have that regen banner, which is much, much better. Let's see. And now we have this entire province, which means we can get Dredge the Sea here as well. And also delete this thing here. No need for the military structure. Let's immediately upgrade the Haunted Shantytown at Kypros and then upgrade Mantreda as well. This territory, we're basically going to set up not as a moneymaker, but rather as a defensive sort of line in front of the other territories. So we'll get defenses all here, and if anything comes over the Ogre lands or out of the Badlands or over Arcan's territory, hopefully it'll be stopped here before heading into the rest of our territory. All the way over here, that's a plan anyway. We'll see if it all works out. I believe, and that's all we have to do. We built our buildings at the very least. Still tempted to get a few of those expensive things because we do have 20k, but gotta remember that that's not liable to last. We're probably gonna reduce our predicted income to 0. Also, just out of curiosity, check Regiments of Renown. Yes, we are immediately able to unlock the Gallows Giant, Necrofex Colossus, and I might give that particular unit as a reward to Maddie. Obviously, she'll need to be in... Actually, no, we can do it in any territory. I mean, she will... Wait, what buffs Necrophax Colossi? It is the Rotten Death Tree. If we put some Rotting Promethean gunnery mobs in her army, and that'll give us a reason to get to this. And then buff those as well. Oh, but then we don't have a black powder overload as well. Ugh. I suppose if we don't get a crazy amount of artillery in here, we can avoid it altogether. I mean, we don't necessarily need a crazy amount of artillery in her army, I suppose. I'm actually now wondering whether we should replace the 2 mortars, although they have been around with us for a while. Replace them with a couple of Sartosa carronades. I mean, anyway, that'll be a thought for another day, or for future Ruinous. Future Ruinous really doesn't like past Ruinous. Anyway, end turn. What are we looking at? Anybody gonna attack us? Is anybody able to attack us? Did I besiege something and then promptly forget about it? You want us to join war against Skullcrag? Any reason to do this other than free money? I mean, can't complain about free money, I guess. Yeah, go for it. It's some little orky faction. It was probably inevitable that we would get into a war with them, as we were going to remain friends with the Blue Roses, and frankly, sometimes it's really beneficial to declare war on a bunch of random factions that are really far away. Hey, Clan Pestilence destroyed, nice. And Clan Carrion Confederated, quaffed the Raven, great for the Raven. And what was I saying? Yeah, sometimes it's great to declare war on a bunch of random factions that are distant from you, simply because... 11k, that's not happening. Simply because you can use that to later make peace with them and potentially get a bunch of cash if they're in trouble. A lot of the stasher, keep moving. Yeah, places to be. Thanks to stash. Alrighty, and then Nessie, I take it you've a long, long way to travel, yeah? Do we need the crow's nest here? I mean, we can build it elsewhere. Let's march dance you out. And I guess we're just gonna head you to Baricar. The thing is, I kind of would like to get... I kind of would like to get the defeat trait for... Volkmar the Grim, or from Volkmar the Grim, and I would also like to get near enough to Arcan to actually spot him, because he'll make a good ally because of all his bonuses for allying with the undead, so there is also that to consider. Anyway, Maddie, I'm going to deal with you in a second. Because you're going to move, probably in an... Oh, frankly, yeah, you're probably going to auto-resolve, though. Harry, you're going to go into raiding stance right here at the edge of Almagora. In order to attack it, since you can't reach in a single round, and oh wow, you... Really? 598? Okay. Harry can't raid. A shame. Alright, and we're still not upgrading these, at least not yet. You, Peggy, first of all, lose the Opal Amulet. I would like to move Charlie somewhere. Do we have defenses? Ooh, we have defenses as well. Okay, yeah, you can't win that. You could move to Reganos. No, you cannot. It also has defenses. We'll need Lana the Stasher to help you out. Yeah. You could move back around to attack Zaragaz, or you could move here and try to raid, but I fear that that won't work so well. You know what, Peggy, just go to the edge of this territory, like so. It really depends on how much this guy recruits. I would like to have you, Charlie, raid a little bit more. Also, can you get the raider or forger thing? No. 495, 495, 473. If you go right here, you'll still be in range of this, but you won't be in range of Peggy. Yeah, no, I don't like that. Damn. Good raid for a turn. You know what, let's see how much it is, whether it's worth the risk. 1,000? Oh, yeah, okay, that's worth the risk. I guess if these guys die, then they die. It won't be a big deal. I have a feeling they're going to attack us. Man, but it's 1,000 gold per turn. It basically pays for this army. Well, that's Peggy's problem, unfortunately. Anyway, Harry, you are now good. Let's keep on moving. Indiana Bones, you've got places to be up north in order to establish some pirate coves. Treasure Coven, you've got to get to Altdorf to establish our first pirate cove. And Harold Kelpclaw, you are trying to join Maddie, but you won't reach her. Yeah, I think I'm going to... So far, Maddie's done such a fantastic job. I think we reward her with the Gallows Giant. We'll have other Necrofex Colossi, not to worry. Oh, you do fire damage, though. Huh. Wait, that's interesting. Minor problem. If we want to make a fire army, is it possible for this faction? I don't know that it is. I need to see what other things do fire damage. I like to make fire armies, but it may not be likely. Is there anything other than the bombers that directly does fire damage? Seems unlikely for a water-based faction, but you never know. Nah, I don't see anything. Okay, well then it won't matter in the sense... You don't do fire damage, do you? No, you have Bonebreaker, though. And in fact, the regular Colossi don't do fire damage either, so yeah, we're okay. As in, we're okay to get her the big ol' Necrofex. As to what we delete, I guess we do have to get rid of the animated Hulks. Man, this is gonna cost us an insane amount of cash, but it is what it is.
Where to?
Alright, Maddie deserves the best. And this is damn well the best. And you have, oh yeah, Firewall moving. Is there anything interesting you have aura-wise? Torch of Bogenhofen, what is this? Instead of salvos of cannonballs, the infamous Gallows Giant covers its enemies in a wave of incinerating fire. Ah, well, hence the fire damage, yes. I can't wait to see you in action, sir, but that will have to wait, I think. Attack Thessos, there's probably not much in the way of defenses there. Yeah, we can just auto-resolve you. Not to worry, we'll get a fight with the Gallows Giant later. And let's pop this on you, the one to least need it. But I guess you can spread it to us, and what the heck is this? And Ship's Colors, causes fear, causes terror. Are you an ancillary or are you a banner? I think it's a banner. Yeah, it's a banner. Occupy, oh wow. Stacking ain't bad, but we're keeping the territory, so I guess we are, well, keeping it. Causes fear and terror, probably not going to be as useful in this army. But I'm sure we'll find some uses for it. Nice. Kassos and Myrmidon still left to go. Alright, so you still have work to do, Manny. Let's get you out of that stance so you don't lose too much of our stuff. How are you doing? Minus 90. What the heck? Wait, whoa, I don't like that. What did oh. What did I do that they dislike so much? It was minus 60-ish before. Okay. I didn't trespass, we have a military access agreement. Alright, well, I'm just gonna hope that they really like us giving them Baricar and these territories. I really wanted them allied. I so regret not giving them Samjek for the defensive alliance. Might have screwed that up and we have to find other ogres, but well, it is what it is, if that is in fact what it is. Anyway, Trusty Montford, you will continue your recruitment, sir. I think one more Cyrene, unless my count is off. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 6 will be the Night Terrors. Then we will have room for 3, which will be the heroes. Yeah, fantastic. Alrighty, speaking of the heroes, I guess it's time to summon them. Vampire Fleet Captain, what I wanted was a Vampires type. Yeah, still the Dark Majesty type. Alright, Dark Majesty it is, and there goes all of that cash we saved up. Morngul Haunters. Still have Dread Incarnate, Determined, and Lore Keeper. I guess Dread Incarnate for the enemy leadership reduction. I really would have preferred another one that did more poison. It's really good on these guys, but I'm not going to mill through a billion of them just to try to get cunning on one guy. Oh, we also need another Vampire Fleet Captain, but it also needs to be a Vampire type. I want more healing in the Ghostly Army, but I really don't like aggressive. So we may have to summon it from elsewhere. Okay. Also, are you able to build? Yes, you are able to build. Go for the Killick Pirate Crew Growth +4. Nice, and that's combined with that Siren. Good. Hopefully you'll get up and running fast, and then what we need to do is get the Notorious Admiral up and running. No, the Infamous Admiral up and running, who's going to take command of this army, while you recruit other things for other armies. I also just realized something. And what we also want to perhaps do is transfer Harry some stuff, Harold, which would mean need to recruit for some more stuff. How long do the Sartosan Carronades take to recruit? Get a couple more of this. Oh, you can't recruit them here? Ah, not until next turn. Damn. Well, hopefully they won't take 2 turns. Anyway, I guess we'll see next turn. Good. Looking good. We are going to check the buildings, as we didn't do it this turn. We did it last turn. You're fine. You're... Ooh, wait. Did I move you here? Not Lana, but you. Oh, I did not move you at all. Well, good job, Ruinous. And we can't reach here to reduce the cost of that pirate hull, but I guess we will reach there later. Alright, now I have to double check if I forgot to move anybody, because it's very distinctly possible. Charlie Sharp. I did move you. You're raiding. Okay, so that's not quite the case. Alright, and we are rapidly running out of cash, but let's continue checking money building. Hopefully they will increase our cash flow. We can get this Buccaneers Tavern. Might as well bring it down to 0. 0 as in how much money we have remaining. Thassos, yes, immediately slave pits. Appuccini Mountains, we have the 1200 Horde of Booty, and I guess we're gonna go for the Tree and Noose, and the Midnight Gambling Den. Spineport, no, I'm not upgrading you, you're too expensive. Mantreda, Tree and Noose, and Spices. And that's it. Well, in fact, that's all we can afford. Double check Diplo, and then we go. And Mousillon is ready for an alliance, but I fear that they will die, and all that'll do is piss off other factions. And I believe that's all. Baricar wants peace, go figure. But we're not going to do that. Not until we take/destroy Baricar itself. And hopefully transfer it to the ogres for them to be happy with us. Skip, 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 and turn. Alright, let's see what we're looking at. That was a quick little turn. And did I not repair the... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. At least it doesn't matter right now. Alright, ogres, don't you declare war on us at the current time. Wulfric the Wanderer wants peace. I'm sure 7,000 gold, but no, that ain't happening. And, yeah, I was expecting that to happen, and they seduced some Fellbats. Okay, that's interesting. We just let these guys go. Probably explode a few of these units. The problem will be taking out the spawn of Slaanesh with the cultists attacking. Sorry, Peggy. I'm glad I took your items away. You're only level 3, though. Fight. Alright, I decided to cut that out because it felt like a complete waste of time, and we'll bring, well, maybe one of the bloated corpses back, just not here, and not right now. We did manage to blow up one of the enemy units of Demon Netsu, but that's about it. We are going to, hopefully... Yeah, that army will remain exposed, so that'll actually be worth our time. Peace treaty with Baricar at the current time? No. Next Snapper's Tribe. What do you want? You have ended our non-aggression pact. Huh. Okay, well, Aranessa can loop around, take your mountains, and give them to Clan Scryer. Are you sure about this? You guys want peace as well? Yeah, everybody wants peace. Makes sense, but it ain't gonna happen. Killed in battle, Peggy Fenn. Sorry, Peggy. Bones McDonald is up. Reinforcements have arrived to defeat the following army. James Schneider. Okay, well, we'll do that at some point. Ooh, Razor Standard as a reward. That'll be nice for our Depth Guard army, which is coming soon, as we will soon have access to them. Just gotta get enough money to actually get them up and running. Speaking of, here's what we do. You, sir. Wait. Morngul Haunters. There's another Dread Incarnate one. Nice. And, there's a Cunning... Oh, that's interesting. Cunning Vampire Fleet Captain. Alright, either way, you go here. You go here. Then, you guys, go to the Sea Corps. We need cash. We need lots and lots of cash, and we need it now. Loot the Carcass. We'll just auto-resolve this real quick. It'll be garbage. And Marauding Leviathan, but still garbage. And not enough to challenge us, surely. Like so. Take the money, and then get back to recruiting. I want this army on the field to conquer faster. 6,000, 7,000, back we go. Alright. And I think I saw another island. Yeah, it's all the way down there, though. And I need you to keep recruiting. Sartosa Carronades, specifically. Oh, good, they only do take one turn. What is not as good is these guys need to now leave this particular army. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because it'll give us room for
Very well.
several additional units in the form of 2 Sartosa Carronades, if I can find them, like so, and 2 ogres with 2 ogre man-eaters with 2 man-eaters with ogre pistols, damn it. Both of these are going to go to Herald Half-Mast's army in order to get a little bit more anti-large. This army's going to have a huge problem with mammoths and giants and the like, and we need those ogre pistols to be able to knock them out for us, as the various animated hulks and the bombers certainly aren't doing that. Anyway, Herald, while we're at it, head to Almagora. You should be able to auto-resolve that. I like so. Free stuff, and occupy. Nice, and hey, you get your Rotting Promethean as a reward, and the territory was secured. And nice. Dredge of the sea, if you would. And we may... Actually, we'll just upgrade you immediately. We'll upgrade Almagora immediately. Do we upgrade Sitkus now? Huh. Aren't the things supposed to automatically slowly repair themselves over time? Because these things ain't doing it. I guess we're not upgrading them, then. Start upgrading. Yes, your army is now exposed for that attack, which was foolish. And good for us. Because now we can kill you. All the while Lana the Stasher is on approach. Alright, Charlie. Take out Malchior. And auto-resolve it. Which we wouldn't have been able to do ever if the bloated corpses are in there, because the auto-resolve always thinks that they deserve to die. Ransom captives. Nice, and another Armor of Destiny, oh my. Game. You're making me real happy. If we go into raiding stance we can't reach, okay, we'll have to go to Silsona. Oh, we're down to 371 income per turn. Ouch. It's gonna be an issue. Skaven Blight, -4, damn. Really to give them something to get that military access, cause Alana, I'm afraid that you're going to have to land and trespass for a turn, and then we'll hit Gualata together with both these armies. Hopefully we won't need the others to interfere. You I will deal with in a second. I want to see if Aranessa can reach Baricar. Can you reach Baricar? You can indeed. Can you reach it in parlay stance? I don't think you can. And I'm not going to risk it, so we're just going to attack, and I imagine this is auto-resolvable. Yeah, this is even weaker than what we fought earlier. Sorry, Baricar. And the other thing we wanted was Arcan, so Pyrrhic victory really to this now. Best would destroy it all. We would not have taken anywhere near that damage game, how dare you. Occupy, we're going to trade it anyway, so oh, maybe I should have sacked it. Whatever. Actually, we wouldn't have been able to move if I had sacked it, so no, I shouldn't have sacked it. Non-aggression pact, broken... Yeah, that's the next snappers, fine. You. Non-aggression pact and military access. Wait, you don't want a defensive alliance? Oh, Arcan, come on, buddy. Come on. 196 money. Take this. And does spotting him do anything else for us? We still have more trade goods. Exquisite Pain. Oh, you're doing not too bad. Alright, I think maybe we'll do a trade agreement with Exquisite Pain. Why not? And they're all the way up there. And hey, maybe a couple of Slaneshi allies wouldn't be amiss. Alright, and ooh, Caravan of Blue Roses has a new mission for us to destroy Volkmar the Grim. Well, we were on our way down there. Anyway, so I like it. And our money just massively increased, probably because Aranessa took this. Yeah, build this, and the... Oh, wow, 2K for that lookout. Okay, no, I'm not paying that. That's a little bit too expensive. You, Maddie. I am going to have to delete something from your army. But what? Now, I was going to put the second gunnery white in this army. But now that this guy's here, I don't know. I was going to do 4 boarding crew rather than the Sirens. Maybe we have to think about boarding crew, and oh, we're actually going to have to fight this. Okay, I think we'll save that one for the next episode, though, just so we can try out our first Necrofex. And I will give some thought as to what I want to change about this army. Supposing we take out the Sirens, it'll be pointless to have less than 4 boarding crew because we're getting held together by screws, right? I mean, I suppose we could respec her, take out the boarding crew and the sirens, and then put in 3 units of gunnery mobs, as in running Promethean gunnery mobs instead. Although we're going to have them in a lot of armies. I kind of like the idea of boarding crew. Guess we could get rid of a handgunner, but they've been here for so long. I'll think about it. Either way, with that, I think we are more or less out of time. There's a little bit more admin to do, but I'll take care of some of it between the episodes, I think, and then we'll complete it over the next few episodes. I was hoping for our first Pirate Cove, but it looks like we'll have to wait a little bit. Not to worry, we'll get there eventually. And yeah, anyway, next time we will have Trusty Montford complete this army, and we're going to send it up north and hopefully properly give it a little bit of a trial run. I fear that the World Walkers will be dead by the time we get there, and the same thing may go for the Rapturous Excess, but we're probably going to start attacking the 1,000 Maws. It would be nice to have Dark Elven allies, but look at all these ports they have, and all these ports that will increase all of our port income. And that's just, it's just too nice to pass up, isn't it? Faction-wide income increase from every single port. Anyway, calling it here. More stuff to come. Stay tuned for more pirate action. Don't forget to leave a like and comment, especially to Threshold if you want the next episode to be an hour long. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.